Welcome to Lovin' the Love Boat, a fond and funny look back on the world's greatest cruise ship-based television show. I'm Istvan, singer, songwriter, and TV fanatic.
And I'm Michelle, pop culture enthusiast.
Join us as we relive episodes of one of the most watched TV series of all time.
Occasionally deviating to pop culture charts unknown.
So come aboard, we're expecting you for another edition of
Lovin' the Love Boat.
Hello, how are you, Michelle?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm talking a little bit quickly, do you know why?
Why?
Because this episode is 1 hour and 36 minutes long.
I know, it was way longer than I was anticipating.
What did you make of it?
I thought it was very...
Great, that's good to know because I would like to get into this as fast as we possibly can because we don't have 3 storylines. We have 5 storylines, Michelle, and we have quite the cast for you to go over. So let's dig in to episode 42. First, we have Disco Baby, written by Ray Jessel. Secondly, we have Alas, Paul Dwyer, written by Barry Blitzer. Thirdly, we have After the War by Carmen Fenestra. Fourthly, we have Itsy Bitsy, written by Howard Albrecht and Saul Weinstein. And finally, we have Ticket to Ride, written by Joyce Armour and Judy Neer. All right, Michelle, I was rushing a bit up front. Yes, I still do want to get this in as a regular episode, not some sort of marathon episode or a 2-parter. What did you really make of this episode?
I liked it.
So did I.
It was lengthy, a lot of storylines going on, but it was enjoyable.
I was wondering why they made that choice. I didn't know why they decided to do an hour and a half episode, but it was good, and they did cover some fairly heavy topics on this episode. Let's get into the guests.
Okay. First, we have everyone's, favorite, Raymond Burr as Malcolm Dwyer. I think you know him as Perry Mason or Ironsides. Did you ever watch Ironsides?
Never.
He was in a wheelchair.
I know. Didn't like it.
No, it's never really anything.
Not my thing.
Not sure I've ever seen a Perry Mason, to be perfectly honest with you.
No, please keep going.
But a show I did watch with regularity on my little black and white TV, starring Mr. Michael Cole as Mike Kelly, was The Mod Squad. Did you ever watch The Mod Squad?
No.
Oh, God, I watch that all the time.
Which one was that? Michael Kelly? Oh, he was great in this.
Yeah, yes, he was in the wheelchair.
Holy cow, he was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Kim Darby, who played Wendy.
Yeah, she's super cute. Who is she, though? I couldn't remember what I remember her from.
Okay, same. I'm watching. I'm like, gosh darn it. Who is she? Who is she? The mom in Better Off Dead.
Oh, my God. That is such an amazing role.
I know. When I read that and her, like,
when she makes the gross food in that, like the weird gray food. Oh, my God, she's incredible. That's the best movie. Better Off Dead is so great.
Now, in honor of our special guest, I've created dinner mondieu. First, we have French fries and French dressing and French bread. And to drink, ta-da, Peru.
I mean, she's been in a lot of things, but for us, that's what we would best remember her from.
Oh, good call.
And it makes me want to watch that movie now.
Yeah, me too. Oh, my God, Taylor Negron's in that. He is so amazing as the mailman. Oh, my God, forget it. Okay, keep going.
Then we have Mr. Bob Denver.
Yes.
Is Jason Markham.
Ask me if I watched Gilligan's Island.
Did you watch
God, all the time. I love Gilligan. That's my speed right there. Gilligan's Island. That's my sweet spot.
Oh, that was one of those shows too sometimes that were on when you're homesick from school.
Michelle, why does Bob Denver's hair freak me out?
Because it's oddly styled. Almost looks like a wig.
Yeah, it does. I'm like, is it real? Is it not real? It's just there's something about it. And then it's like super, super, like, I think dyed maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was like an older man that they were trying to make look younger.
Ask me if I watched Dobie Gillis.
Did you watch Dobie Gillis?
Nope.
Oh, I did. You know why?
Why?
My dad
Your
liked
dad.
it.
I know. I knew that already. All right, keep going, please.
Next, we have Conchata Ferrel. She played Bitsy Sheldon.
Yes.
I liked her. She was good. I mean, I remember her when I was reading her biography from Edward Scissorhands, but she was also in, I guess her like most popular thing was 2.5 Men, but I never watched 2.5 Men.
No.
So I can't say that I knew her from that.
She was an actress that you saw in a lot of things. She'd been around for quite some time.
Yes.
Very likable person.
Next, we have Christopher George as Ross Randall.
Ross Randall, right?
Yeah, Ross Randall, sorry. I have to tell you, though, I was reading his little biography, and it started off with, solidly built, boyishly handsome, Ross Randall. I didn't find him to be any of those things, but
Do you feel that he was held back many, many years because he seemed way older than the rest of his classmates?
He must have been.
He was a master thespian, terrible academic in school.
See, he looked like he could have been the gym coach
Yeah,
or something.
he seemed much older to me. As did Bob Denver, for that
He
matter.
did. Next up, we have Lisa Hartman. as
So cute.
Just as Sherry. There was no last name.
Yeah, I didn't
given.
find a last name for her either.
And we know her from, well, I remember her too when they did like this spin-off Tabitha. She played Tabitha. Then Knots Landing, which I'm sure you never watched.
No.
And then you know she's married to Clint Black.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Still.
Oh,
Since
wow.
like the 90s.
She's so pretty, like, in that way. Like, she's, like, super, like, late 70s, early 80s, like, beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, Michelle, please get to the next person who I think you're getting to is my favorite. Go.
One of everybody's favorite, Mr. Michael Lembeck.
Michelle, Michael Lembeck, I have mentioned something like this before. As a kid, when we were watching all of this, I desperately wanted an older brother. I did not have an older brother. And I've said, like, I wish that, like, Han Solo was my older brother. I would have loved someone like Michael Lembeck as my older brother because I just thought he was, like, super nice but cool, like a cool guy.
Well, that's funny you say that because he did play Captain Cool in the Sid Cross Super Show.
He had, like, remember in the last whatever episode, the guy had a super long, like, golden lightning bolt around his chain and his hairy chest?
Uh-huh.
He had a guitar pick. It wasn't golden,
Oh,
but
it
he
was
had,
a
like,
guitar
a cool
pick.
guitar pick.
You were right, but he was like a disco king.
Yeah, see, he's just like, he's a cool guy, and he plays those types of roles. Wasn't he, like, in One Day at a Time?
He was Valerie Bertinelli's husband. And he was really nice on that show, too.
He's the best. He's just, like, beyond likable. He's on another level, and as soon as I see Michael Lembeck, I like him.
Returning to the Love Boat again is John Rubenstein.
He's another person that I would have liked as an older brother. He's just also
He did seem really nice.
super sweet guy, really, really nice. You know, they would have been smart. They could have helped, answer questions for you and been patient with you. Living out a lot of stuff through these actors on this one.
He played Jack Forbes, and then also playing his wife on the TV show. And as I learned in real life during that time period, was
wow.
Jody West.
Wow.
Yeah, they divorced in 1989, but at the time they were married.
Oh, that's a good run, I
She
guess.
was really pretty, I thought. She was like a really pretty, like 70s type actress, like natural beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have David Landsberg. He played Tom. He was hardly on, only in the beginning and the end. And then the final person I have is Kelly Monteith as Pete
DeLuca. I wanted to throw him overboard. I did not like Pete DeLuca.
No.
Ugh. The wacky, like, I'm the funny guy in 1970s. There's nothing more insufferable than that. All right, good God, let's get into this. Where do we... Well, guys, what is happening on this, Michelle? What is the whole theme of this episode?
Since there's so many plot lines going on, the main theme is Julie's high school 10-year reunion.
Sir, please, isn't there anything that you can do about Julie? She's driving us crazy.
Golfer, try to understand. This isn't an ordinary cruise to her. It's her high school reunion, and she wants everything to be perfect.
Oh, good morning, good morning. I can't afford any mix-ups. Could you please recheck your cabin assignments, and are you sure that you made enough punch for the welcome alumni party?
Oh, well, I would have made a bigger batch, but I didn't want to leave a ring around the pool.
We're expecting a lot of wild parties. Now, are you sure that you're set up to handle them?
I'll try, but I can only go to one at a time. Gentlemen, be serious.
Oh, Captain Stubing, it is almost boarding time. Shouldn't you be on the bridge checking your charts?
Of course. Anything else, Captain McCoy?
No, not right now. I'm sorry. I guess I'm letting all this reunion stuff go to my head. Now, I promise from now on I will be cool, calm, and collected.
Oh, it looks like your classmates are boarding.
I wish my high school reunion was on a cruise ship.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I probably would have gone. Pretty sure I did not go to my 10-year reunion.
Yeah, I mean, I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, and I should have my mom on this episode where I handed her my diploma day of and just started growing my hair as fast as I could as soon as I graduated. Could not wait to get out. I would never go back to a high school reunion. But yeah, for you, I could see that. I'd be like... I'd be like Wendy's, like Tom, with some flowers for you, sending you off.
Talking about your draft dodging.
No, that's not him.
Oh.
The Wendy person.
Oh,
where
okay,
she's
Tom
going
with
off
the
on the
flowers.
tour. Yeah. Because what's her deal?
She is been brought onto this cruise, though, by a secret admirer, I guess. Somebody bought her ticket. and left her this romantic poem, so she's determined to find out who it is.
Excuse me, Wendy! Julie! Hi! You look terrific! You look great! Thank you! Well, where's Tom? Oh, we broke up months ago. You did? We're practically engaged. What happened? Well, I don't know. You know, I mean, Tom's real practical, you know? I mean, he's real careful, you know? He's a real stick in the mud. You know, I need a little more romance in my life. Well, if I know you, you'll find it. Shall I let you in on a little secret? Oh, please. I think I've already found it. No. I have an anonymous admirer on this cruise. Has anyone been looking for me? Not yet, no. Well, somebody sent me the ticket. I didn't buy it, and it came with this note attached. Let me see. Come sail with me, let's share romance. And in each other's arms we'll fly. Oh, if you won't give my heart a chance, I'll hold my breath until I die. Oh, that's fantastic. Just think on this boat somewhere is my Prince Charming. Yeah, good luck. I'll see you later. Wow.
Michelle, is Raymond Burr wearing the same exact outfit every day on the ship? Because I think it looked like he did. The same coat, same pants. Or did he change?
Nah, I think he pretty much stuck to it. I think at one point he maybe had a sweater on. Maybe when they were in the restaurant in Mexico. But
he's a big presence.
He is a big presence.
He is their theater teacher, and he makes a customarily large entrance onto the ship.
I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea in the sky. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. Well, gentlemen, I use the term loosely, very loosely.
That ain't Mr. Dwyer.
Ain't? I flunked you in English, didn't I, DeLuca?
Yeah.
Good.
Mr. Dwyer! Hi!
Surely this gorgeous creature isn't Dimples McCoy, the heavenly heartbreaker of Haley High.
A rose by any other name.
Oh, you're like a great wine. You've improved with age.
Thank you. Captain, this is Mr. Malcolm Dwyer. He was in charge of our English department and directed all of our plays and musicals. They were terrific.
Then how come we never got to Broadway?
May I introduce my skipper, Captain Stubing?
It's my pleasure. Confidentially, I was a performer myself when I was in high school. Yes, Gilbert and Sullivan. I'm very, very good, and be it understood, I command a right good crew. He's very, very good, and be it understood, he commands a right good crew.
Any friend of mine is a friend of Gilbert and Sullivan.
My sentiments exactly.
I think the captain took a liking to him immediately because it was somebody in his age group, and they shared a love for Gilbert and Sullivan.
He is really good on this. Raymond Burr, I think the character that he created was really compelling, actually, and really cool. It wasn't done in, I don't know, like a clowny way, and I don't know, I just think he was great from beginning to end on this episode for sure.
I definitely agree with you.
I can see why the captain took a shine
He was smitten with him.
to Mr. Dwyer. But we have 7,000 more people to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So shortly after that, guys, I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing I like more. Back in the day when I was young, I was more of a rock and roll kid, right? But in my adult life, there's nothing I like better than disco. And the Love Boat has kind of like a disco sort of like vibe to it always. But this one is disco heavy, and I couldn't be happier because Joey, the guy I wish was my older brother, he comes on with Lisa. And it turns out they are, disco dancers, right?
They are professional disco dancers.
I wish we were professional disco dancers.
I do too.
Oh my God.
That was so popular though when we were kids.
But quickly, let me say, we got to get to the bottom of this, dude. The thing that is confusing, Julie's excited to see him because they were like old sort of like flames kind of in high school. And then she's kind of sussing out the situation. And you think that these two together, but Joey kind of puts the kibosh on that.
Don't catch me up on the news. You two,
No,
married?
we're just a team.
Quite a team. Oh, well, great. Listen, I've got some work to do, so why don't we all get together and talk later, okay?
Sure, great. We got to unpack anyway.
All right, fine. Nice seeing you.
See you later.
This confused me, Michelle, as we get into this. Because they are more than partners. They aren't just like friends.
I agree. I think it's because he was thrown off by seeing Julie and like maybe reigniting some old feelings for her. So he established up front, like, whoa, we're just friends.
Pump the brakes, Lisa Hartman.
Exactly. Even though they're clearly together.
Yeah, it was just, but it threw me a little bit. It threw me off a little bit.
That whole thing between him and Julie was very confusing, I thought, throughout the whole episode, because I really didn't think she would kind of do some of the things she did.
Is Bitsy a real name, Michelle?
No, I would think Bitsy's a nickname, and it's kind of like a play on her, the whole storyline of her being large, itsy bitsy.
She's not even really that big.
She's not at all, but then I guess I was thinking, by late 70s, early 80s.
Wait, this is your high fructose corn syrup rant. Go, do it now, please, go.
Well, she wasn't very large at all, but I guess maybe back then she was. But do you want to hear my whole theory of
No, I don't. No, I'm joking. We don't have time for this.
I'll save that for my conspiracy theory
Sure,
podcast.
for your... Please do.
But she really wasn't that large. And then the fact that they were relentless with the fat jokes and the body shaming with her was crazy to me.
But we're not even done. There's more people coming on the show.
There's the trio of gentlemen, including Bob Denver and...
the hilarious Pete DeLuca.
Oh, God.
And who? Russ Randall?
Ross Randall. 50-year-old. I didn't quite understand that either, because it seemed like his sister was in their age group. But
I don't
then
know.
he was
Let's
on
not
the
get
ship.
into it. He's way older than everybody. He had gray chest hair. This is supposed to be their 10-year high school reunion. The guy's hair has obviously dyed, but he has become a famous television star.
He has.
But he's still just a regular guy. He's just, he can still clown around with everyone, hang around. You think he'd be all pretentious? No way. It's just still the same old Ross Randall. And these guys are all hanging out, talking, and nothing really happens with them, does it?
Not really. It's just kind of Wendy makes her way through all of them because she's trying to determine who bought her the ticket.
That is her running gag. She is seeking her admirer throughout the ship. But also, we didn't get to the Canadian millionaires.
The Forbes. Do you think it was ironic that their name was Forbes?
I'm not quite sure.
But he was part of that guy group, and they all went to Vietnam, and then he and his wife, well, probably girlfriend at the time, went up to Canada.
Can't spend the whole reunion avoiding Mike Kelly.
Kathy, he was my closest friend. We did everything together. How am I going to tell him that I bailed out and went to Canada?
But you went to Canada for a reason you believed in. You've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Tell that to Mike.
The Vietnam War was wrong, and you know it. You paid your debt.
How can you compare sweeping the floors in a Miami hospital to the kind of debt that Mike paid?
The government made you do 2 years of alternate service. We had no friends, we had no money when we went to Canada, but we made it work. We built a business with our own 2 hands. That's something to be proud of.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget how far we've come.
Jack, for once, let's enjoy what we have together.
All right. Listen, I'm going to have to face Mike sooner or later. Stay close, huh?
Yeah, so Michelle, with these two, did he not know? Because, guys, there's even more. There's just so much going on this.
Way
It is
too much to
insane.
get into.
Because this guy is now in great pains because he feels guilty that he did not serve in Vietnam, that he took off to Canada. And then the thing I was going to ask is they see Mike, who is his best friend in high school, and Mike was injured in Vietnam, and he is now wheelchair bound. And then did he know that? Did he not know that?
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, so he is just really upset about this whole thing, and now he doesn't know what to do. This confused me in the beginning because it would seem that he would be aware of this and that maybe they would avoid the entire cruise because he is just riddled with guilt. Oh, and also you should really talk about because they are on an actual ship. So you're seeing, you like this, and so do I, when they're actually shooting this live.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
this
on
is a
location
crazy
shooting.
Oh my God, it's a crazy episode because it's so long, so involved. There's so many people, so many moving parts to this whole thing. And then they add to it that they're actually having to film on a real ship, which looked pretty cool actually to me. And a lot of the background stuff, the locales did look actually really beautiful.
They've used that one a few episodes earlier because it had the cool, like the lounge area, that giant lounge area.
Oh man, it looks awesome.
Looked amazing. And
yeah,
then,
it looked cool. It was pretty groovy. I liked all of that. But this is the thing. The teacher's sitting at one of the outside bars, which I like very much.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting Isaac up for some sort of, I don't know, scotch, gin, whatever type of a drink. And then the Ross Randall shows up and they just start shooting the breeze. But the teacher kind of lays into him a bit. And this gives you kind of an indication of what's motivating and driving him to drink.
I take a drink from my old English teacher.
I was young till I had you as a student. I teach English, I drink scotch.
Scotch it is.
All right. Half a glass?
Oh, we Scots are thrifty.
We Scots are thirsty.
Oh, Malcolm. Mr. Dwyer. How are you and the drama club getting along without me?
The drama club has suffered, but I personally have not had a headache in 10 years. You know, Randall, you were the best Hamlet our school ever had.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You're a very good teacher.
So why did you switch from Shakespeare to schlock? I've seen your show. You sold out.
My show has one of the highest ratings on television.
So is Yogi Bear, but I don't watch him either.
See you around campus, Mr. Dwyer.
You were kind of hard on him, weren't you? I mean, the man is a star.
Oh, hell. On television, anybody with blonde hair and a dimple can be a star. Aside from his momentary little detour, he's on his way to becoming a real actor.
Well, then why did you...
Why? 1,000 reasons, the least of which is envy. Say, I thought I asked you for another scotch. Methinks the lad's mind is not on his work now. Leon McDuff, McIsaac.
You know, Ross is a pretty lucky dude, too. So as he's like carting these cool beers away, he bumps into Wendy. And then he kind of like hits on her and sets up like a little bit of a date for later. And this is kind of the running gag throughout, where she has an encounter with several of the guys on the ship, assuming that they were the one who bought her tickets, and quickly finds out that none of that is true.
You know, Ross, that really was a very romantic thing you did.
What was it? I'll remember. Was it this?
Ross, I'm talking about the ticket. You sent me a ticket for this cruise, didn't you?
I think you have the wrong boy. You see, I play a detective, not a millionaire.
What am I doing in this cabin?
Oh, nothing yet, nothing.
That's right, Ross. And it's gonna stay that way.
One thing I really liked on this episode, though, were the disco dancing numbers.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
Joey and Lisa Hartman, they were really good dancers together. But then, like, Julie would come on and try to, like, get into, like, dancing with him. And Julie wasn't very good.
I also noticed that, like, my big brother, you know, Joey.
Michael
Lembeck. I think he's 4'9", because he looks really small. Like, he's as tall as Lisa Hartman, who does not look very tall to me. She can't be more than like 5 foot something. So I think he's a very diminutive guy. I would have been taller than him by the time I was like in 6th grade.
Makes sense, because when he's with Valerie Bertinelli, she looks also short, and then they were kind of equally matched.
He has perfect hair.
So did Valerie Bertinelli.
He just had, yeah, she did. I loved her. I had a crush on her when I was a kid. He's just great. Yeah, and all the disco dancing, yeah, he did. Man, disco was so popular at that point, man. It was just like disco and Star Wars. And that's the thing later on, one of the songs, which I will play, is I think they were they were doing like that disco Star Wars thing. They did like a variation because it definitely sounds like the main theme that they threw everything into the show. They wanted the show to reach as many people as possible, and they were doing a good job.
Well, and they were getting in on all the latest, crazes, which was disco dancing. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember in my gym class,
Yes.
our gym teacher was giving us disco dancing lessons.
That's
as
awesome.
part of our gym class. And then we would have an actual disco dancing contest in gym class.
Oh, that's so great.
I have some moves that I still retain from his teaching.
Guess what we had in Catholic school? Mr. Anderson made us all do military things. Right face, left face, about face. And then we had maybe 2 seconds of gym in what was called the parish hall. And you know what the parish hall was? The basement. We had no basketball nets. We had no nothing. Boy, I could have used Michael Lembeck.
Or Mr. K. That was our gym teacher.
Yeah, Mr. K, disco dance and the kids.
He also taught us how to polka because he was a dance instructor.
Hey, that's like Gopher says on the show. He's not good at disco dancing. He's like, but if you play a polka, you'll watch me boogie down.
Reminded me of my grade school years.
All right, totally. Yeah, but the disco, back to your point, the disco scenes were spectacular.
Another person whose dancing skills we got to see again were Isaac's.
Oh my God, he was out of control. And then like the mystery turban woman that he's dancing with all the time, she just pops out of nowhere.
Together.
But oh my God, it was incredible. It was so great.
It was like, I think I had mentioned early on in this podcast that movie I had seen with him where they worked in a record store. He also had a big dance number in that movie, and a lot of those moves that I saw in this episode were in that movie as well. So he definitely needed another opportunity to show off his dancing
he couldn't
skills.
wait. You could tell he was ready to bust that out. He's dying for it. See where he was wearing the weird sunglasses during that one scene? Like, why is he wearing these sunglasses? Did he have pink eye or something? It's like, why does he have... It just felt weird because the other person didn't, but he had like crazy blue blocker sunglasses on.
The only thing I could think of is because it was on location and actually outside. Maybe the sun was
really
bothering
freaking out
him.
his eyes,
yeah, and so he had to put sunglasses on.
Well, shortly after, I mean, like one of the main, I think, first, major disco dance things, Julie and Joey end up kind of together. Because Lisa Hartman keeps like having stomach issues and like she's rushed off to her cabin, which leaves Julie prime pouncing opportunities. And then, they rekindle the relationship.
I missed you.
I've missed you.
Hey, isn't it something about Ross being a big TV star?
Yeah. You could be a star, too. You're a great dancer. Yeah, ever since we were kids, you've always been a great dancer.
Remember the first time we went out? After the movies, we went driving.
You mean parking? I'm so nervous.
Are you nervous now?
No.
In true soap opera fashion, as they are kissing, Lisa Hartman is up in the background watching them.
Gargoyle hanging over the side.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, she was so nice.
She really didn't do anything wrong. He was just couldn't make up his mind or whatever.
Yeah, and she was really giving him a lot of space.
She was really tolerant, super tolerant about all that.
Yeah, because shortly after that, those two are just kind of casually walking back to the their whatever. I don't know if they had the same cabin or they had different cabins, but they're walking back and she's really okay. And he's just kind of explaining yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your kiss in the moonlight.
And I hope you enjoyed spying on me.
Hey, now wait a minute. Don't try to make me the heavy. I wasn't out necking with my high school sweetheart.
Well, for Pete's sake, it was one little kiss. It's not as if I dragged her down to my cabin.
You're right. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just into that old-fashioned thing, when two people love each other and decide to get married, they don't go making out with other women. I'm obviously wrong.
Well, maybe we're both obviously wrong about getting married.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Look, why don't we just relax here for a second and take a deep breath and stop this before it gets too far.
You're right. I didn't mean to spy on you.
The kiss just happened. Wasn't meant to.
Promise?
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too.
Michelle, Jack Forbes, Canadian t-shirt mogul. I love his hair. It's kind of like curly, borderline afro, but like it's what I try to make my hair, but I can't quite do it because I have more of the Lembeck hair. And he's wearing some sort of like, I don't know that they're Sandsbelt slacks, but I couldn't stop looking at his pants and how slight of a human being he was. Like he has to have like a 26-inch waist, and it's just like
very petite waist.
he's like a marionette or something like that. But this guy does some powerhouse acting that I just was blown away by, and he brings all kinds of like sensitivity and empathy to this role. And I'm not joking around. I'm being very, very serious. And it is ruining his entire cruise.
He's conflicted.
His poor wife's cruise, too, because they should be having a great time. This is a killer cruise where everyone, Julie even warned the captain that there's going to be some wild parties on this thing. Like she knew it was going to get out of hand to some degree. But it's like he is just absolutely burdened with the guilt of not serving in Vietnam. And his wife is constantly, valiantly trying to console him.
I didn't even have the guts to tell him I went to Canada.
Enough. You paid your dues.
Oh, my dues. Mike's in a wheelchair. We used to play football together. Now he can't even pick one up.
Why are you feeling so guilty?
Well, how do you expect me to feel? I mean, there's Mike, and here I am with a healthy body and a ton of money in the bank.
Nobody handed you that money. You worked for it.
Yes, I had the chance to work for it. Mike didn't. Oh, Kathy, I did the wrong thing.
I see. And the right thing would have been for you to go off to war and end up like that, wheeled off some plane while the band plays Johnny Comes Marching Home Again.
Stop it! Stop it.
That kind of guilt and conflict really is enough to drive you to drink, wouldn't you say?
I would drink anything in the place, Michelle. I would drink some sort of tropical drink. I would drink Moscow Mule, right? Raymond Burr. He was looking for anything. He didn't care. He didn't discriminate when it came to alcohol. But that's the thing. We are going from powerhouse acting to more powerhouse acting because Raymond Burr is just bouncing from bar to bar to bar. Isaac's everywhere. He's at every single bar because he's magic. And Isaac has the tough job of telling him no.
Because they had, if you recall, they had found him in his room hammered.
Oh, that's right.
So the captain was like, no
How
more.
did they know? Like, he was in his room by himself. How would anybody know that? You know,
That
I
don't know
that.
either, because if you recall, Doc was with that Bitsy woman, and they were dancing and stuff, and then Gopher came up. I don't know, because he just seemed like he was just drunk in his bed.
But the captain, I mean, guys, spoiler alert, we are going to learn another distant chapter that makes up Captain Stubing in a bit. And what you're going to learn is every reason as to why he knows the seriousness of Raymond Burr's situation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take much longer for us really to get this sort of major reveal in why Raymond Burr is driven to drink.
How can you do that? Ordering him to cut me off.
Well, perhaps I overstepped my mark, but I did it in your best interest.
I'm a big boy, Captain, so I take a little libation once in a while. Just my way of escaping, that's all.
And what do you have to escape from?
I'm a joke. A joke to my students, past and present.
No, I can't believe that. Julie tells me your students worship you.
Sure. Listen to old man Dwyer spouting off. He couldn't make it in the theater, so now he has a captive audience in the classroom.
Hardly a reason to climb into the bottle.
I can quit drinking anytime I want. I've done it a dozen times.
Want to try for 13?
Michelle, did you ever fall in love with a butcher? A butcher's son?
A butcher's son.
A butcher's son who loves to dance?
No.
Well, I'm surprised because they're very, very compelling. They're very attractive. And Julie knows this, as does Sherry, a.k.a. Lisa Hartman. And, you know, Julie is kind of, I think, willfully ignoring that these two are kind of together. Again, Lisa Hartman's just so nice on the cruise. And she just tries to have like a heart-to-heart with Julie to tell her to just like lay off. Julie kind of doesn't care.
No, it kind of makes Julie go in even harder because she really is just like, who are you to tell me what to do?
Hey, Julie, can I talk to you, please? Sure, Sherry, but maybe later after I finish work, okay?
Oh, it'll just take a second.
Sure, what's up?
Try to understand me, okay? Julie, I'm not telling you. I'm simply asking you. Please lay off Joey.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Joey and I are just old friends.
Julie, I really love him. Well, look where you are and look where he is. All he knows is dancing, and, well, you can't dance forever. Someday he'll probably be back working in his father's butcher shop.
Sherry, there's no disgrace in that.
No, I know. I'm not putting him down. I know what he is, and he's all I want.
I'm afraid you're asking the wrong person. I think you should be talking to Joey.
Yeah, forget it. I thought you'd understand.
Trouble is, I do understand.
But as you pointed out, Lisa Hartman is really being nice about this whole thing.
Oh, she's beyond tolerant. I mean, it's crazy.
She's cutting a lot of slack for her dance partner / boyfriend /
Well, I mean, as it turns out, not only is he a butcher's son and a disco dancer, he's also a Vietnam vet.
Yes, because as we were just talking about a little bit ago, there's that scene where they're all out on the deck drinking pitchers of beer and talking about their stints in Vietnam.
Yeah, Gopher had a desk job at Fort Knox. Didn't he say like Fort Knox or something like that? It's like so crazy. And then it's like Canadian guy rolls up, and I really felt serious anxiety during this because I felt for the guy where they're all calling him in, and then he's sort of trapped in this to where like they're asking him about what he had done during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of lets a lie kind of unfold. He didn't necessarily lie.
Right.
And that actually was done really well too, because he just was not, it wasn't the environment to reveal that either. You know? But again, it's just ruining this poor guy's entire trip. Michelle, I was disappointed with both Gopher and Isaac on this episode. I saw a side of them that I hope I never see again, because in addition to disgusting fat jokes, they also were basically pushing Julie into being a homewrecker.
Absolutely.
What happened to the girl they voted Miss Life of the party?
Well, the party's over. Sherry came to me this afternoon and begged me to lay home.
And you went for it?
Isaac, she needs him.
And you don't. Didn't anyone ever tell you all's fair in love and war? Sure, how can you win if you're not even in the battle?
You're right. You guys are absolutely right. Yeah.
Because like she's kind of conflicted. She could see it. Julie's a sweet girl. Julie's whole thing is to make people happy, but she needs to be happy too.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically tell her, like, go get him.
And go get him she does. She comes up with a plan that she's going to throw this big disco party night, and she needs him to help her plan it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that on your own. You need a professional to help you understand, how does the floor light up? Where do you get all of the polyester outfits for everyone? We have the cowboy outfits, obviously, on the ship. We have things for mariachi night. I don't know that we have enough disco clothing. So he's going to help her out, right?
He's going to help her pick the music and the lighting and everything.
They did a good job, though. You got to admit, I mean, like, they really knocked it out of the park, because I wanted to be on that ship so bad.
Can we talk about the party or no?
You could talk about anything you want.
That disco party, when it finally comes to fruition, had like a Studio 54 vibe going.
It had everything going.
Had like a red carpet kind of situation where they're all kind of strutting into the dance floor.
It was incredible. The lighting was crazy weird because everybody was like lit up red kind of in it.
Uh-huh.
They did an awesome job.
Yes.
I mean, it was really cool.
But like you said, everything about this episode was pretty cool. We keep going back to Raymond Burr's alcoholism, the way they handled that with the captain, I thought was really good, because they went to that Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
That was alcohol free.
This is the thing, you guys. No, I'm really serious about this. Gavin MacLeod and Raymond Burr together, I thought were pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The topic that they were covering of alcoholism, very, very serious. And they handled it beautifully. The thing that Captain Stubing's doing on this is basically being like his AA sponsor.
Yes, because as you had touched on a little bit earlier, he himself was an alcoholic.
Well, here, this is the thing, you guys. The captain kind of reveals to everybody, because this is the only way I do believe some people are ever going to listen, to see that reflection in somebody else who understands where they're coming from. And he explains kind of a pretty dark chapter of his life.
Malcolm, you need help. I need a drink. What the hell do you know about it? Big expert. Have you ever wanted to drink so badly you killed for it?
Yes. 10 years ago, when my wife, Stacy, and I separated, I simply couldn't handle it. The loneliness, the rejection, the failure.
I'm familiar with the symptoms, whatever the source.
So, I started to drink. And not heavily at first.
Don't kid me. How could you drink and still be in command?
Well, I didn't drink while on duty, so I didn't have a problem, right? Wrong. One evening, after a couple of scotches, I was driving to the ship. There in front of me, I nearly hit a child. That was when I finally realized what I was doing with my life. I sat in the car and cried. I sat there and cried and cried and cried. I haven't had a drink since.
How?
I just stopped. You have no alternative. Unless you don't want it tomorrow.
So again, there's not a moment of disbelief in this. I mean, both of these guys delivered this stuff really, really well. I mean, the Love Boat is a lighthearted show, and it can throw you, but they really, this is the thing, they can really throw down some serious stuff, and I think handle it really well, and they definitely did with this. Now, Michelle, I said that I was disappointed with Gopher and Isaac, and I was. Were you at all?
Yeah, because they were making a lot of fat jokes, which were crazy and mean. Spirited, I thought. And then as we see throughout this episode, you know, Doc was hesitant at first to take this woman out on a date, but as you see, as he's getting to know her, he's really starting to like her. Although I did think it was weird, I'm backtracking a little bit, when they were even eating dinner that one time and he was telling her how to cut calories.
It was so cringy throughout the whole thing. The whole thing about her being fat, because she really wasn't, to me, fat. And then it's just like everything was about that. It's just like constantly harping on it. And it's like this poor woman would just be like, you know, berated left and right about her weight. She wasn't even that big. And it's just like, she's like just enjoying her life and not having to be like some cocaine skinny woman, you know? It was driving me nuts. I hated all that stuff, but there is a payoff. That's why I brought up Isaac and Gopher, because they redeem themselves. They feel badly. They get to it in a little bit of an odd and awkward way, but then Doc is pensively out with a beautiful view of a million palm trees in the distance. I don't know if you noticed that. But
I did.
He's out there by himself, and they come up to apologize, and they really do some serious apologies, and it was really, really good. But then Isaac has to ask why, and I guess it's a valid question, because Doc is always like kind of cruising hot chicks all the time.
True.
And he gives an incredible speech about what he really does look for in a woman. And I thought that was pretty incredible.
Doc. Evening.
Yes?
Hi, Doc.
You have a few more shots about Bitsy that you forgot to get in?
Doc, Gopher and I, we'd like to apologize.
Right. We went too far, and we're sorry. I'm serious, Doc. We apologize.
Accepted. See you later.
Doc, it's none of our business, but
Why Bitsy?
Why not Bitsy?
Well, I mean, she's not the type of... Well, I mean... Well, of all the girls that you've dated, Bitsy's kind of...
Are they not beautiful? Oh, guys, let me tell you something about women, about how I feel about women. They're all beautiful. Beauty isn't just looks. Pretty face, perfect body, that's easy. Woman doesn't have to be a centerfold to make me laugh. To puncture my wonderful male ego when I get too big for my britches. Make me feel happy to be... just happy to be. Believe me, Bitsy is a very beautiful woman. Come on, be late for dinner.
That really, really, really was.
I loved it.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Yes.
As a kid, I don't really think I paid much attention to Doc so much. But as an adult rewatching this, his character is pretty great.
Thought it was really great. I thought the whole thing was awesome. But you know what? We've forgotten completely. Poor Wendy. She's been running around this ship looking for her Prince Charming. And she gets together with she got together with Pete DeLuca for a brief moment. And thank God that didn't go any further because he's gross as can be. And then she gets together briefly with New Age Bob Denver. He's some sort of hippie tarot card reading something or other.
I was not expecting that.
No, it was weird because he's the son of a steel magnate, it turned out. His dad was rich.
He didn't have to work at all. Just read tarot cards and go on cruises.
Yeah, so it's like she's then at the disco, and maybe she's the only one not having fun at the disco because she just can't find the guy who wrote this poem to her. And she kind of again, Julie in the midst of breaking up, being a homewrecker, takes time to listen to her friend.
Hey, Wendy, we're having a party here, remember? I'm really not in a party mood. Well, what happened to Ross? I mean, what happened to Pete? No, I mean, what happened to Jason? And I really mean, what happened to him?
That's the trouble, Julie. None of them are him.
Huh?
Do you know that I have wasted this entire cruise running around with this dumb poem? As if it were glass slipper looking for some man to fit it? You know, it's not too late to find a guy. No, not a chance. I mean, I'm nuts. Do you know why I always thought that Tom wasn't... I don't know what I thought Tom wasn't. Ross and Jason and Peter, they're not for me either. I don't know what I want. Maybe I should have never broken up with Tom. Maybe I should have never come.
Maybe you should go out on that dance floor, grab a partner, and boogie. That is an order.
Michelle, did you have any graphic t-shirts when you were a kid?
I had plenty.
I had one from Old Chicago. I still have that.
Oh, wow. I had a David Cassidy when I was really little. I had a lot of crazy shirts. I don't know if you remember those in Hawaii.
Crazy shirts? What do you mean?
It was like a cat, but he was in a tropical setting.
See,
they're still
awesome.
around, actually.
You probably bought it from these guys from the Canadian
I was
t-shirt
thinking it kind of
couple.
gave me that vibe, like they would own a crazy shirt.
Throughout this entire cruise, this husband and wife are just having the worst time and constantly having these very, very heavy conversations. And she is trying as hard as she can to make him feel better about his decisions. And finally, at the disco, he decides to pull his friend Mike aside. And who is this guy, Mod Squad guy?
Yes.
This character is incredible because he turns out to be the most evolved, kind friend a guy could ever have. This show had 2, 3, 4, I don't even know how many great moments, great monologues. And these two friends have this confession and reveal that maybe tops them all.
All right, Jack, what is so important that you had to drag me away from all those girls that wanted to dance with me, huh? Come on, don't be embarrassed. I've had to learn to live with this thing. You're my friend. You'll have to learn, too.
Mike, I gotta tell you something. And I'm afraid it's gonna put our friendship right on the line. You see, when I was in college, I got my draft notice.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. But when I got mine, I gave it a lot of thought. And And then I made my decision. I moved to Canada until the war was over.
I know.
You know?
Your mother told me in a letter.
But you never said.
I thought if I confronted you with it, you'd go through life with a case of the guilt. But if you could get the truth out yourself, from inside, you'd be rid of that burden once and for all.
Oh, God. I was afraid.
Dad, I've known you for a lot of years, right? You did what you did based on your principles. I did what I did based on my principles. Neither of us were wrong. We just did what we had to do.
But you're a hero. I'm not.
No. It took courage to do what you did. Maybe if I would have had that kind of courage, things... You took a stand for what you believed in. You laid your whole future right on the line. I admire you for it.
You're in a wheelchair, and you're forgiving me.
I am not a saint. There were times I was so bitter I could taste its end. I hate it. I hate it! The hate was my real disability, not this thing. I was lucky. I'd love and help a lot of terrific people.
Oh, Mike. I'm so sorry this had to happen to you.
I am too. I'm just damn glad it didn't happen to both of us.
Michelle, I was getting weepy during this whole
They were
part.
getting weepy.
Oh my God. But it's like when you think about that and you see what your friend went through and that you went through this stuff, this is you like unburdening yourself after all of this time. Wait for his mom to just write him and it's like what my mom would do. Like she wrote in advance.
Oh, that's right. So he had already known that he
went to
moved
Canada.
up to Canada because the mom told him.
Yeah, the mom tells on him. It's just like, yeah, your mom wrote me years ago, but I was going to like wait it out so you could tell me on your own terms.
But then he saw it from his friend's side too. He didn't get mad at him.
No, I'm saying he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing that he could go through all of that. And it was some seriously amazing acting. Like I really bought that this guy was like served, went through all that stuff. It was absolutely crazy. I thought it was really good. Michelle, why did they do this to us? This easily could have been 2 episodes, and they jam-packed all of this stuff into one with a disco soundtrack. Why? Why did they do it, I wonder?
I wish they give some kind of history, like as to what this episode, like why was it? I assume it was a 2-hour episode.
Oh yeah,
with commercials and stuff like that. So
I would have been pissed if Fantasy Island got bumped.
So I'm saying there's
I'm
no
tell you that
Fantasy
much.
Island
I would have been
coming on.
As much as I would have been thrilled for a 2-hour love vote, I would have been. There's no Fantasy Island tonight. Oh. But this is the thing: the beautiful Lisa Hartman, wonderful disco dancer. She's passing out all over the ship.
She is.
She's passing out every 5 minutes.
A final pass out during the captain's farewell disco party.
Michelle, why is this woman passing out?
We find out she's pregnant, which makes sense.
It does. So she's trying to force out like the hustle and the bump, but this woman's carrying a child. You know, they take her back to the room so she could get a little rest. And then Julie takes off, and Julie's a good person.
She is. Kind of snaps her back into reality.
It does. And then Joey, being a simple butcher's son, he comes out kind of like, you know, not like nothing had really happened, even though he's putting both of these women through all this stuff.
Seriously.
I know. Hey, he's into disco. He just likes to kind of do things, and they kind of figure it all out together.
How's Sherry?
She's resting.
Joey, I wanted to... There are a lot of things I wanted to talk to you about. I'm sorry.
I'm the one who should apologize.
No, I knew that you two had plans, and I just threw myself at you.
Well, that's not quite the way I saw it. I was scared, Julie. Scared of marriage, being tied down. And then seeing you kind of reminded me of being in high school again. Playing the field. The thing is, I guess I'm not a high school kid anymore.
Hey, none of us are that high school kid anymore. And you know, marriage is not like walking the last mile. Especially when the lady you're going to marry happens to be crazy about you.
Yeah, I know. You think I'll be any good at it? Being a husband? A father?
Joe, you're going to be great.
We're still going to be friends, right?
Well, I was hoping to be more than just friends. I wanted to be friends of the family.
Oh. Oh, come on, let's go see Sherry.
Okay.
At the height of the disco revelry, Itsy Bitsy grabs the microphone from the DJ. Every DJ loves when you grab a microphone from them because she has to make a very, very important announcement, and that is who the recipient of whatever their high school name was, the high school halo, which is their highest award, is going to be bestowed on, I don't know, like the most popular person, the person who's done the best. Not surprisingly, it's Ross Randall, super Hollywood star, 55-year-old high school senior.
But he got the halo.
Yeah, he puts that halo on for 2 seconds.
I didn't want to mess up that hair.
No. And then he decides to bestow a secondary award to, big surprise, guys, Raymond Burr.
Thank you. I appreciate the honor. It should be shared by a man who believed in me. A man who gave me the incentive to push ahead. His dedication to his profession kind of brought out the best in all of us. Now, as you know, the last couple of days we've been plotting and planning, and tonight I'm really proud to announce that a college scholarship has been established in the name of a unique and very special man, Mr. Malcolm Dwyer.
I am grateful, and I'm touched. Never expected such a beautiful moment would ever come my way. I am very proud to have been your teacher. Only one thing could have made me more proud. To have been your parent. That way, and instead of having all of you for just 4 years, you would have been mine for a lifetime.
In the words of the immortal Malcolm Dwyer, class dismissed.
Michelle, the only thing I have to say about this that is like negative is that he wanted to be their parents.
That was a weird speech he gave. Very weird. Maybe that's the sober talking in him, but true. I thought it was...
No, it's just like a little odd, that ending part. But otherwise, it was a really nice speech.
Yeah, fresh start, newly sober, thanks to the captain's help.
Captain Stu being really coming through and being the captain that we know and love. Guys, there are many lessons learned on this. I hope you guys like this episode. But one of the main lessons is, if you have anything to reveal to someone, if you're carrying any guilt, don't wait. Because you don't want to wait 10 years.
No.
And then miss out on having a brand new employee at your t-shirt company.
But I thought it was cool that they were going to hire vets.
That's what Isaac said. They both came to their senses. I think initially they were just wrapped up in the spirit of the reunion and they were acting a little bit childish. But then at the end, he's like, that's beautiful. And then these guys are off to a brand new life together.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Great cruise.
Hey, Mike, good luck.
Good luck. I've already had my luck. Jack wants me to head up personnel in his business.
That's beautiful.
We are going to hire as many disabled vets as we can.
Oh, that's super. Best of everything to all you guys.
We already have the best of everything.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Michelle, Raymond Burr leaves, and he is wearing the exact same outfit I do believe that he wore when he got onto the ship. He should have packed more because if you recall, way back in the beginning, he had one little tiny high school bag in his hand. So I think that's all the clothes he brought on this entire... His sweater, I think, was in there.
And his hat.
Yeah, that cool hat. I like that hat.
Yeah.
But he is a new man. I do believe that sobriety is going to stick this time. The 13th is a charm.
Absolutely.
And Raymond Burr honestly did an amazing job on this. He was great. He was a great presence. And they hit us with one final song, which I like too.
Parting is such sweet sorrow, but it's back to class tomorrow.
Let's keep in touch, Malcolm.
Most certainly. If Gilbert and Sullivan write something new, I'll send you a copy. Seriously, Merrill. Thank you. Hey. He's very, very good, and be it understood, he commands a right good crew. I know. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Poor Wendy never found out on the cruise who bought her that ticket. But as she was leaving, much like when she went on to the cruise, Tom was waiting for her when she got off. It was confusing. Because then he reveals that he's the one that bought her the ticket because he wanted her basically to try to find true love.
Or get it out of your system.
Yeah, but it worked.
His little plan resulted in true love.
Well, Julie, thanks for everything. I'm just sorry it didn't all work out for you.
Wendy?
Tom!
How'd you enjoy your trip?
Oh, well, I had about the worst time of my whole life.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have sent you the ticket.
You sent me the ticket? You sent me the ticket. And the poem?
The poem. Yeah, I know. The poem was kind of silly, huh?
Oh, no. The poem was beautiful. Why did you do it?
Well, I knew you had this romantic notion about meeting the man in your dreams. So I figured I'd help you find him. Get it out of your system.
Well, Tom, I found him. I'm gonna never let him go.
Do you think we'll see Doc and Bitsy ever together again on future episodes?
No.
They did imply, though, that when they were kissing at the end, that he was going to ask her to fly up to San Francisco and they were going to go out to dinner.
A lot of promises are made on the ship, Michelle.
I know.
And I do believe we have seen the last of Itsy Bitsy.
No.
But I could be wrong. What do I know? She may come back as a completely different character. Maybe she'll be a spy. Maybe she'll be from another country. Who knows?
Or a burglar.
But I do not think this person in this form will be back.
Well, regardless, they hit it off and they imply that they will see each other again in the future.
They had fun. They taught us a valuable lesson, and they are going to go to San Francisco. And again, they had to keep harping on the food thing.
I know.
Where they have wonderful restaurants.
I'm going to miss your warm and wonderful lechery.
Miss, I got a little free time coming up. Maybe we could get together this weekend. Hey, why don't we fly up to San Francisco?
San Francisco?
Yeah, where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars, and they stop at some of the best restaurants you've ever eaten at.
You're on.
All right.
Michelle, I've been waiting for, I don't even know how many years to bring this up. And that's another thing I have this episode to be grateful for. I've taken all of our money and I have opened a disco school. And I hope that you will join me in this venture, in this new chapter of our lives. And if you don't, I don't really care because that's what you do when you're a disco guy. You just do whatever you want and everything works out for you.
You know, I was thinking not really a great plan when you're about to have a child, is to open up a disco
Or the
dance
1980s
studio.
right around the corner.
Right.
Disco's going to be a thing of the past.
Absolutely. I mean, they
Well,
have a few more years, but
You know what? You can open the way I see ours working is I'll be in the disco room with my tight slacks on,
Mhm.
and you be in the other room giving out polka lessons. You know what I mean? And yours is the thing that's going to keep us afloat throughout all the decades after that, really. I'll be clinging to my disco like dreams, and you will just keep, you're the one who's going to really be bringing in the cash with your polka classes.
I think I will end the polka classes, which I advise them to do, and just you're going to go into the 80s. You're going to go into an aerobic studio.
Oh, good idea. Oh, I could see her as an aerobic instructor. Him too, really?
Yeah.
Captain, I guess you don't know that Sherry and Joey are getting married.
Congratulations. Now, just because you're gaining a husband, it doesn't mean I'm losing a dance teacher, does it?
No, no. In fact, we want you to be the first student in our new disco school.
Well, shall I leave?
Well, Joey, well, I guess this is goodbye.
Yeah, till the next reunion.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you made it all the way through the episode. It was a long one.
Mhm.
If anyone knows why they chose to make this extra long episode, we'd love to know. We never figured that out exactly. But I liked it very much. It was some of the most intense, but really well done, sort of like dramatic scenes and performances that I think we've seen thus far.
I agree.
Yeah, I liked it very much. Hope you guys did too. And we hope to see you all back here for episode 43. But until then, I am Istvan.
I'm Michelle.
Captain Stubing, please come to the bridge.
And we are loving the Love Boat.
Peru